Welcome to the Soviet Wasteland. A place desolated by a nuclear war between the Soviet Union and Western powers. You're an agent of Atom, who is sent away to search for missing comrades and along the way uncover a mysterious plot that might destroy what's left of mankind. Alright ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kieran and welcome to the world of Atom RPG. Atom is a... well... RPG, based inside a post-apocalyptic world filled with bandits, mutated monsters and starving towns. Basically everything you need in a game. The game is being developed by Atom Team, a new development team comprised of developers from Ukraine, Russia and Poland, with some of those developers still working inside major development studios. By the way, I just noticed, but I love how small teams name their dev team after like their first game, because I was actually going to make a joke about how they always do that, but at the same time I realised that so many devs do it. Not saying it's a bad thing. It's probably good for devs to kind of like just know where their roots were and know where they came from along down the line. Anyway, let's take a trip into the world of Atom. The game takes place in Eastern Europe in a region called the Soviet Wasteland. The destruction that you see there is a result of a nuclear war that escalated back in 1986 between the Soviet Union and the Western powers. You're probably asking what caused this war between superpowers, and the answer is simply the Cold War. Well, I don't know if this is the actual cause of it in the Atom universe, but in real life this is what happened. Well, this didn't cause a nuclear war, but you know, the Cold War is a thing that happened. The Cold War wasn't actually a thing that was being fought with actual warfare, but more like the battle of words and dominance as the Soviet Union tried to spread its communism to certain parts of the globe, and you know, the US being America wanted to stop them and bring some of that democracy to those places. I can imagine the nuclear war that occurs in Atom happening due to the Cuban Missile Crisis, which was when the Soviets planned to have nuclear missiles based inside Cuba, which is insanely close to the US border. Actually, it's probably just off the coast of Florida, if my geography serves me right. I think it's close, very close to Florida. Anyway, back to the actual game. Atom starts out in the middle of the wasteland with your protagonist on the start of their journey to find a missing expedition who cease communication with the Atom bunker. The player gets ambushed and robbed by a couple of bandits who take all their shit except their trusty canteen, which could be a reference to back to the classical Fallout. From here you travel to the first town, you know, pick up quests like helping the poor folk solve problems like repairing a water tower and such. Do you know what, I'm just gonna go off topic and just say this one thing here. There was a wee quest where you had to go help out this old man like harvest crops, and you literally went into his back garden, picked about 5 corn, came back and the guy's like, oh, I don't know how to pay you. Here's a shotgun. I'm like, a fucking shotgun? Are you being serious? Like you just got done finishing saying like your village is being attacked by bandits occasionally. I don't think you need any, like, I don't think you can be giving away guns here. Right, so I know what you're thinking. This game seems a little bit similar to the Fallout series, especially with Fallout 2. Well, it actually is, and there's no denying it. This game is inspired by games like that, but the thing is, it's very much its own game, and stands on its own feet. Instead of having a retro-futuristic settings with laser weapons and a crazy radio host that plays tunes from the 50s, the world of Atom is much more grounded and real compared to Fallout. With the game set many years after the war, societies in Atom can be compared to that of medieval times, as bandits act like feudal lords, honest working people regress to peasants, and bureaucrats rule the biggest city on the map. Myths and gods start to form based on stories of past technology, and KGB agents become horror stories they tell kids to keep them from venturing out into the deep woods. To NPCs, genetic mutations are basically witchcraft, as most don't actually have knowledge of modern medicine or science. I feel like this would actually happen if there was an apocalyptic event. After a few generations, humans would devolve into what people were like during these times. Because let's admit it, like, if it wasn't for easy communication through phones and the internet, so many people would still believe in myths and folklore like Bigfoot and Nessie. Questing in Atom is fun because they actually have decent dialogue options that can change the conversation completely depending on your choices. Like, there was one occasion when I was exploring and I came across this guard post and just started up a conversation with this guard, and straight away there was an option to turn completely hostile against them for like no reason whatsoever. Obviously you can just avoid combat with NPCs altogether unless it's forced in this game. I would say right now like there is a ways to get around combat. Even at the very start of the game there was skill checks that you can get past, and I'm not too sure if those skill checks allow you to like avoid that intro scenario, but I'm not too sure. I'll need to test that out, but it's cool that it's in there anyway. So yeah, there is speech checks in Atom's dialogue, which basically means that you need certain characteristics in order to pass like 7 intellect options or something, you know. This is the reason why I love playing RPGs, is because it adds so much more freedom for role-playing. Want to play as a complete idiot? Then you can do that, but you will suffer for it. Since Atom aims to be more like classic CRPGs, the game does have turn-based combat, which is a gameplay feature that I'm not really keen on, but in this I actually enjoyed it. The main reason why I enjoyed it here is because the fact that you weren't exactly locked into it. If a fight gets too heated and you have no chance, you can choose to use your action points during combat to maneuver your way towards an exit point, or if the enemy is too slow, then you can just keep walking away until they no longer have sight of you. I must admit I've used this many times to escape like random bandit encounters when I'm exploring. Yeah, I used this to actually escape like a bug once, because the bug was very slow and I had like 1 HP left because of hunger. I was just like, do you know what? Fuck this, and I just walked away from it. One of the things I actually wanted to test out, because I was on like an outskirts of a town, I was so curious if I could lead the bug into like the town, and so all the guards can just kill it for me. I want to test that out, I want to see if that actually works. Going back to action points, if you don't know what they are, action points are allocated to the player every turn in a fight, and the player can use them to do a variety of attacks or movements. Each action requires different amount of action points, like for example a swing of a knife takes 4, but a stab takes about 3. You can also use action points for movements as well, so if you want to move 3 paces to the left or whatever, then you can do that, but it will take 3 action points to do that. Atom contains hundreds of characters, quests and locations, and by the time it launches I hope that this game will be filled with great content. I was actually very surprised by Atom, because when the devs emailed me the key to the game I was like, oh, okay, here we go again, because the last devs that sent me a key to their game, it basically broke my PC, and I have a fucking stream to prove that, so... So when I went into Atom with like not very high expectations, I was very hyped by the end because I was only really there to try it out, and it held me on for a good 3 hours before I was like, do you know what, nope, I need to go to bed now, I've got college in the morning, I can't be playing this all night. So I just want to say big thanks to Atom team for gifting me the code to their game. It was definitely a big surprise. I was going on to the Bandicoot email and I just seen them pop up and I'm like, no fucking way did these guys send me a key to their game. I find it crazy. It's never really happened to me before where a company actually reaches out to me. It's usually me reaching out to people and be like, hey, can I cover your game? Anyway, thanks so much for watching the video, guys. Did you all enjoy the video? Will you be checking out Atom RPG? Let me know down in the comments below. But before I go, I want to thank my brilliant wee patrons, Simon609, Kendo Gunshop, Devil and Proxy1 for supporting me and help me keep this channel running. I really appreciate it. I honestly can't thank them enough for supporting me. And if you haven't supported me already, I hope you consider going onto my Patreon, just to even look at the page and see what there's there to offer. And if you can donate at least $1 a month, that will definitely help me out, trust me. Anyway, thanks everyone, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.